You have two bad choices. You're raising your own prices and you risk losing customers, or you hold your prices and you let your margins collapse.
You've got a triple threat today. You've got Richard, you got Henry, three guys who are just trying to make sense of why absolutely everything is suddenly more patriotic when it costs 30%, 40%, 50%, 100% more.
These policy shocks don't just steal margin, they steal trust. One has reserves and one does not, because they're just focused on cash flow, trying to make ends meet at the current moment, almost basically like a paycheck to paycheck. You're spilling personal capital into corporate capital. That's delaying your retirement. Now let's kind of dive into the business and where it bleeds first. It's obviously sales and cash flow. So, the suppliers can raise prices on you, and you have two bad choices. You're raising your own prices, or you risk losing customers, or you hold your prices and you let your margins collapse. So I kind of touched upon that earlier. Your equilibrium is pretty much gone at that point. You've got to really reevaluate things. Now, the part that is kind of important to see is it's not just accounting theory. It's real, inventory that gets stuck on shelves and it starts getting harder to move, and your margins and how you calculate your ratios start changing. And maybe you don't have this level of planning or forecasting in your business at the moment. However, you are experiencing this in real time when these type of things start happening. And the key thing that I just want to highlight is these policy shocks don't just steal margin, they steal trust. Because when your business is getting impacted by this volatility, your banker sees it in your financial statements. So if you have financial statements that are getting audited and reviewed, or some form of a compilation, the reason why a banker looks at it is to determine your ability to service the debt. They have things like debt covenant ratios. And this is when tightening or things around the lending that they've extended to can actually start changing too. So now suddenly, if you're not able to access capital, like from credit, most business owners will find themselves funding that working capital from personal savings, remortgaging their home, or some form of capital so that they can inject into their business and use. And these are not just numbers. And when that event happens, when you're spilling personal capital into corporate capital, that's delaying your retirement.
How would you like to see a 91-year case study that we put together to explain how this infinite banking thing can work for a family over 2 generations? Well, you know what? Real easy to do that. We have that right in our second book, Cash Follows the Leader. You can get a copy for free delivered right to your inbox. Head on over to cashfollows.com. That's cashfollows.com and pick up a copy right now.
When a business owner is taken away from these policy decisions that are not in their control, and they're bleeding personal capital into their business because they've invested blood, sweat, and tears to building up their business, and they've worked very, very hard, and they are and there's all these decisions that happen that are not in their control. So how do we restore the control in them in their own business? And these policy risks aren't just on the company balance sheet. It's actually bringing it to the kitchen table.
Very good point.
That's why keeping structure isn't just paperwork, it's actual protection. And I just kind of want to share just implementing a powerful tool like, and the concept of using it in your business, the infinite banking concept. I'm not specifically sharing the example here, but to show how important it is when you're structuring something and designing it tailored to you versus someone who's just kind of flying by the seat of their pants. So just as a quick example here, again, I'm just sharing my screen with a business owner, one that is structured and one that is not structured. Owner A is unstructured, owner B is structured. So the EBITDA before tariffs is 2 million, both are the same. Valuation before tariff is 12 million. But now when the tariff happens, one can absorb the tariff very, very differently. One would come from the unstructured, their EBITDA would be 1 million. That owner that is structured would be 1.6 million. So you can see there's still an erosion from their EBITDA, but one has absorbed a lesser of an impact. The valuation multiple is different. The valuation after the tariff, of course, has a different value. So the percentage loss when you are prepared rather than reactive to the situation is to just highlight the key difference that I'm showing you a 63% versus a 27%, but the key highlight of what I'm just sharing visually is one has reserves, has the position for all of this stuff to buffer these type of circumstances, and then one does not because they're just focused on cash flow, trying to make ends meet at the current moment, almost basically like a paycheck to paycheck.
Click here for the next amazing video, and if you want, check the links down below and you can get access to a free book that we've written right to your inbox. Go ahead, do that now.